street from a block. We're flipping a 2 to a 4 ain't an option. I hustle out, hustle by nipping and nipping. I'm destined to get it, you know that I'm all in. See money be calling. No bricks for piss, no stalling.
And welcome back to 2 Wops, 1 Shot.
Minus 1 shot. Once again. Well,
still on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Just coming back from Portugal. Well, boys, it's been 2 weeks about, and we got a lot going on. We're gonna talk about a few things going on. First, I think let's do a little quick recap on the first 2 weeks of the Prem. Haven't talked a bit about that lately. Also, we had a quick discussion going on during the week. A little debate going on who had the better career. Since Neymar's left for Saudi Arabia and Bale has retired by this season, who had the better career overall?
Yeah, so I posted this on our Instagram as a poll, but and I talked to you guys behind the scenes about this, and I honestly only think there's one correct answer. If you're talking about who had the better career comparing Neymar and Bale, there's only one correct answer.
Exactly, and that's
Neymar.
Bale.
How in the world?
Buddy.
I don't understand.
Buddy.
You actually have no football knowledge.
Buddy.
How can you say that Bale's had a better career than Neymar?
Oh man. Bale had
in what
career.
aspect?
Trophies.
What is Bale won that Neymar hasn't?
Way more Champions Leagues, way more leagues.
He has not won more leagues than...
He's played in more competitive leagues throughout his whole career than Neymar.
How does that mean he has a better career?
Buddy, if we're just going to go off stats like goals and assists, then sure, we could say Neymar.
How about impact?
Impact on the game?
In the game.
Well, buddy.
Neymar has had a greater impact on the game throughout his entire career than Bale.
Okay.
The only thing you can say about Bale over Neymar is that he's won more Champions Leagues.
Okay.
And that's because he was in one of the best Champions League squads ever assembled.
Who literally won Real Madrid a Champions League title off a crazy bike?
I'm not saying he didn't contribute, but I'm saying he was part of the best team. But just because you're on one of the best teams or you win more trophies doesn't mean you've had a better career overall.
Fair enough.
Because then you could use that same argument for every single player on that Real Madrid team then.
Sure, but also we can't also look at not like internationally. For one, both players, no disrespect to either nation or player, but you haven't done much for your country.
Well, I'm not talking about what he's done for his country. I'm just talking about his impact on the game. Like if you ask if you if I was to go around, let's say at Yorkdale, with a picture of Neymar and a picture of Bale, I'm going to say 50% of the people will not know who Gareth Bale is.
Okay.
And the majority of people will know who Neymar is.
We have
because
a lot more Brazilians
Neymar has had a greater impact on the game. Through his style of play and his skill and his goals, he has had a greater career than Bale. And there's not even an argument about it.
I don't know, man. I look at it.
And think about it like this. Who got paid more? There's a reason why Neymar gets paid more than Bale.
Yeah, but also
because he's had a better career. He has a better track record.
Neymar has gone to clubs infamously for money. Infamously. And
doesn't every soccer player go for a team for money?
Well, no, not every single player. You know?
Every single player goes to soccer teams for money. No soccer player plays soccer for no money.
Obviously
Everyone
not.
goes for money.
Obviously not. But buddy, like for one, like you're 31, Neymar, top of your game still, in your prime, and you're gonna go move to Saudi Arabia.
That's the wave now.
Buddy,
that's the wave.
Come on,
that's the wave.
Come on, lads.
That's the wave.
Come on, lads.
That's the wave.
Stay in Europe.
That's the wave.
Don't disrespect yourself. Just like my boy Tony Cruz said.
That's the wave.
On Fabrizio's Instagram post. Embarrassing.
It's the wave.
Embarrassing,
it's
buddy.
The wave.
All these young lads going to Saudi Arabia.
That's the wave.
With high potential, still not even in their prime or just in their prime.
Why wouldn't you take the money,
buddy?
If you're a soccer player, you're never guaranteed money. So if you get injured at 21 and you tear your ACL and you're not the same player, you'll never recoup that amount of money. So if you have the opportunity to make head and shoulders above what you are now, or anyone that anyone's willing to offer you, why wouldn't you take the money?
man, come on.
You do a job for money.
I guess I'm call me old fashioned, but I think
It's not even old fashioned. It's like you're not even putting yourself in the position of those players. Because if you're that guy, you're gonna take the cash. If they're offering you 5 times more a year, you're gonna go there.
Yeah, but I guess,
And then and if at the end of the day, you can always come back.
man,
Look at Carrasco. He left. He went to China. He played for a couple of years. Came back to Atletico. He could always come back, and he's only 21. So if we're talking about Gabri Vega, by the way, who went from Celta Vigo to the Saudi League, like if he's getting paid 5 times more salary, why wouldn't you go?
I don't know, man. I guess you can call me old fashioned in that sense, but like I think you gotta want to reach the highest levels of Europe, and Saudi Arabia coming in and throwing all this money in these young players' faces.
Exactly. So you know what?
Like, man, you gotta be able to bet on yourself and believe that before you move to Saudi Arabia, you can reach the heights of being a top player in Europe than just thinking of money throughout your whole career. Because realistically, you didn't start playing soccer to think of becoming rich, becoming a millionaire, super millionaire. You joined to play soccer for the love of the game.
And he is still doing that, but he's making 5 times, probably even more than 5 times more than he would otherwise. So why not take the guaranteed money?
I don't know, man.
You're not guaranteed anything in soccer. If you get injured, you're done. Your career's toast.
Fair enough.
And right now, and if he has the chance to make income that he wouldn't be able to otherwise, then it just doesn't make sense financially for him to go. And if Saudi Arabia keeps on doing that, eventually their league is just going to become top class everywhere.
Yeah, I get it, but also I think they have a lot more leniency and like more than top leagues in Europe. Like you see today, like Klopp was saying how truly unfair it is that the Saudi Premier League has a transfer window open 20 days longer than any place in Europe, any place in the world, really. Like, come on. Like, if you really want to tighten up and show fairness towards the world and world football, like, we got to have some sort of, like, evenness in transfer window.
There's no such thing as evenness in football transfer window. And evenness in football transfer window has not existed in a long time.
Oh, yes, it has. In Europe, transfer window closes. Transfer window closes.
Yeah,
the only place outside.
But look at the amount clubs are able to spend.
Yeah, but
so that's not. How is that even?
Sure.
It's not even.
Well, that's investment, brother. Like, that's investment into a club. If
that's not even.
any guy from Saudi Arabia could come to any club in Europe and say, "Hey,
that's what I'm saying." So that's not. It's not even.
Here's $1 billion. Let's go spend it on your club. Anyone could go do that. Really.
Exactly.
You gotta just have obviously a fan base and be making money in the
That's what I'm saying. So the transfer market in general is just not even.
I don't know, man.
Because some clubs are able to spend significantly more than others.
Fair enough.
And they can't even compete. Just what like Saudi Arabia, like I've seen this argument online as well, and it's like, okay, Saudi Arabia is doing what the Premier League has done for years now.
Yeah.
Understandably, the Premier League makes more money. They have that viewership and the fan base, but it's the same. The concept still carries over. They're able to spend significantly more money than other clubs can.
Yep. No, I agree. But realistically, I look at it. Who's gonna be written in the history books more? Whose name is gonna be on the trophies more? And
who knows? I've heard rumors that the Saudi Arabian League is gonna have a spot in the Champions League.
No.
And with the amount of investment they have,
European Champions League.
Yes.
No,
and
you know what? I don't know where you're reading this information.
And I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't even be surprised with the amount of money and investment they have.
No, man.
I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised.
Once a Saudi Arabian team is allowed in European competition, I'm gonna stop watching football. Like,
bullshit,
straight up, buddy. Straight up.
I'm telling you right now,
buddy. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Champions League it's just called the Champions League, but it's not just European.
It's not UEFA. Anymore. No, buddy, come on. That's why there's the Club World Cup in the end.
No one cares about that. I'm talking about a club. With the amount of money Saudi has, I'm not gonna be surprised if in a couple years they're able to enter the Champions League. With the amount of investment they have and the opportunity to impact the Asian market, I would not be surprised if they're able to enter the Champions League or have 1 or 2 spots available.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here, it's not going to be like they're going to be the worst teams. They're not.
But fair enough.
But
let's see.
Let's close out that topic though.
Yeah.
There's no absolute way that, and you can honestly say that Gareth Bale has had a better career than Neymar?
I don't know, man.
It's actually a fraud statement.
No, man.
It's fraud. Bro, how, like, where has he had a better career?
And
If
trophies.
he's more
Who's been more
he's more
successful
well known.
in championship matches? Who's won more championships?
He won
Brother,
the Champions
brother.
League. He had the player that has
Brother.
scored the most amount of Champions League goals ever on his team.
Brother, last season that PSG team, I'm sorry, should not have lost out in friggin' the round of 16.
So how does
in the
that mean
Champions League.
how does him losing in a team mean that he's had a poor career?
I don't know,
Or
man.
how does that lessen his career?
Well, it does really. It's like how does Messi become the GOAT above Ronaldo? Well, shit, he's won a World Cup. Well, you could say that.
That's
buddy.
an argument, but that's not
Okay,
definitive.
but this is my argument towards the fact that Bale is better than Neymar, and that is something you gotta respect the fact.
Now you're saying
that
Bale is better than Neymar.
No, I'm saying Bale has a more successful career for the fact he has won
not.
more trophies than Neymar.
He is not. What did Neymar win so much stuff in France? He won stuff in Spain too.
But I'm saying European competition wise, where it really truly matters. The French league, come on.
Neymar won
on.
a Champions League too with Barcelona,
Okay.
and
But
he's
like I
more
said,
well known.
nothing-
He's a more well known player, and he's a better player than Bale. He's had a better career. He gets paid more. He's more well known. He's won as much stuff as Bale has, minus Champions League. So how can you? You know what? Let's move on because I'm not going to agree with you. You guys let us know in the comments below who's had the better career. If you agree with this, Nimrod or me. Next
right.
up, let's talk about the City transfer saga. So Manchester City, Bernardo Silva resigns, which is absolutely massive for them.
Oh yeah.
Because there was big rumors of him going to Barcelona.
Barca, even being as a Benfica fan, the hopes of him
dream
going
on.
back, but
Come on, buddy.
yeah, no, exactly. But it's massive on City's part, keeping a player like Bernardo in their ranks and hopefully continuing to win another League Cup and further future success there. Bernardo brings talent and skill that not many players carry on that.
He has
in
that special
that
dribbling
team, bro.
ability.
Yeah, man. So that was massive for them. I don't know. What do you think as well?
No, it's really massive for City to keep Bernardo Silva, a massive impact player on their team, and with all the players they've been letting go of, it's important to keep hold of these key pieces.
Yep.
Speaking of key pieces, João Cancelo is now not confirmed, but it's almost like 90% there going to Barcelona.
Yep. What I heard is it's basically coming down to financial fair play on
bro.
Barca's part because, buddy, like they don't have much money to
They
play
don't have
with.
the money.
Yeah, and the wages Cancelo's on, and if they do want to buy him, he's still one of the world's best fullbacks, so that's not gonna be cheap in the end of the day. So let's see where that transfer ends up. Winding down the transfer window coming up less than a week away.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a massive signing that City's made in this past week to basically replace a like for like players is Jeremy Doku replacing Riyad Mahrez basically.
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen much of him, so I don't really have a good analysis of the player.
Honestly, I'm gonna bring up friggin' Belgium versus Portugal in the Euro. Was it the Euro or the World? I think it was the Euro. Basically, that man ate us apart when he came on. I can't remember if he was starting or if he came off the bench, but when he came on, the flair, he had a crack of a shot. Like I remember, I don't know if he hit the crossbar or something, but he changed that game massively for Belgium, completely. It was a tight game both ways, and obviously that thunder of a goal from Thorgan was massive. But like not seeing him too much on the club level, I think just seeing him play, he was younger at the time, so I think he's grown more as a player at this point. Jeremy Doku is a massive pull for City.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. So another thing I kind of wanted to talk about that I've been seeing throughout this week is the João Felix saga there with Atletico Madrid. I mean, I saw a statement. I don't know if it's true or not, but I seen a statement on Twitter from the president saying that João Felix does not want to play for Atletico Madrid.
Yep.
I don't know what they're gonna do with him because they're demanding a fee close to the sum they bought him for, and I don't think they're ever gonna get that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I think Atletico is reaching in the dark for this, and I feel bad for them as a club at this point because Joao has not reached the full potential of being the player they thought he would become, but also the mentality he has and has been showing the past couple of years towards Atletico and playing for Atletico is not where they want it to be at. And it's affecting his play, it's affecting the team, and it's affecting his value in the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm not too sure on that.
Exactly. No club is gonna want to pay an extraordinary amount of money for him if they know he's gonna want to leave.
Exactly.
And like, I don't know if I agree with like his antics of like not wanting to play, trying to force a move.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you know what? Play, prove your worth.
Exactly.
But on the same time, it's like Atletico Madrid. You gotta let go of him. He does not want to play there. He doesn't fit your style. You could see when he does play, he has the talent.
Yeah.
He has the assets to make himself a really world class player. He just cannot do it in that system.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't fit the Atletico system.
For sure.
And it's like you gotta move him on.
Yeah.
You gotta take the loss and move him on, because you know what? If they don't, in a couple of years when his contract runs down, he's gonna leave for free.
Exactly.
So you better get something from him. You guys get a little bit, and he gets a little bit too. It's like a little give and take, I think, because
100%.
you can't leave. You can't keep him forever there. I don't know. Maybe loan him out again. I don't know what the best play is. Maybe that's their thing. Loan him out. Hopefully he catches some form, and then someone wants to splash the cash for him.
Realistically, I think it's tough on both the player and the club's part. Like Joao has, he's sitting behind players like Antoine Griezmann, like Memphis Depay. He knows he could play at the same level or even better than these guys, and just living with the pressure of being Portugal's next best talent, living with the pressure of being such a highly anticipated talent, and just the price tag he has on his head of a player is just, it's a lot of weight on a young guy like him. And it's, you want to be playing day in, day out. And I think he proved on his loan spell at Chelsea that he could still play. He's still a top player.
See, the thing for me is like Joao Felix, like I previously said, he has the talent,
Yeah.
but he does lack that end product. And you really saw that at Chelsea. When he was able to come on the field, he had a high impact in the game.
Yeah.
He was able to impact the game, but he really lacked that finishing quality in the final third.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really gets you the big bucks. And at the same time, it's like when he went to Atletico, he should have known himself that was a system that doesn't really suit him.
Yeah.
Because Joao Felix is a very creative player.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that Atletico system suits him as a player. Like I feel like to play for them, you really got to be a workhorse, and he doesn't have the work rate
No, definitely
to play in that kind of system.
Yeah. I think watching him over the past 2-3 years with Atletico really showed that he hasn't been able to adapt at all.
Exactly. He's not a physical type player.
Yeah.
If anything, when he was playing in Chelsea, I've seen a lot of English fans criticize him and say he's a luxury player.
Yeah.
And that's technically what he is. He has the flair, the dribbling, the passing,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not physical. He's not a hard worker.
Yeah.
He's not gonna win you those balls back. He's not that kind of player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He does fall into that luxury, I guess, luxury class player.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it's tough now because every league in the world you see is becoming faster paced, more physical,
Yeah,
and
and
physically demanding.
You look at these teams. Every team demands you to work hard.
Yeah.
So you can't just get by attacking unless you're like that top 1% of player that just gets to do what you want because you're that good.
Exactly.
But like I said, he lacks that finishing quality. If he had that finishing quality, I think he would be able to do that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, dude, you're not scoring those goals. You're not coming up with the goods.
Yep.
So now you got to work hard. You got to fit the system. You can't. The system cannot be formatted around you per se.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I don't know if him moving to a team like Barca will help him out any way possible.
Honestly, I think it would, because Barcelona is a team that controls possession. That's the kind of team he needs to be in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Atletico is smart if they let him go on loan. screw it. If he like performs, let him perform.
I think if he goes to Barcelona, he'll have a significantly better season.
Yeah, and you know what? If he suits their style of play, good for him. Good for the Portuguese national team. Good for Atletico Madrid.
He needs to go to a team that plays a more technical style.
Well, no, yeah, 100%.
And Barcelona's that team.
Yeah. I completely agree. In the end of the day, I think he's a good player to play above like guys like Ferran Torres. Like, it compete with.
No, exactly. I think he pops into the starting 11.
Yeah,
like he could play on the wing.
He could either play right in behind Lewandowski or he plays on the left.
Yeah, or the right. He plays
right.
He plays on the wing or right in behind the striker.
Exactly.
Where he should be playing. He's not a striker.
No, definitely not.
He needs to be playing in behind the striker or at least wide.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So let's see.
Let's see what they do exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about. So I've been seeing a lot of shit about this on online as well. Mbappe, right? Recently with the transfer saga about him not wanting to re-sign, now coming back and being integrated back into the starting lineup, looking like he's gone more favorable with the club again. They signed one of his best friends, Ousmane Dembele. They got rid of a lot of the quote unquote problems. Neymar, Messi, and they've bringing in a lot of young, fresh talent. Right. So, do you think that Mbappe has an ego problem, or do you think he's justified in his actions?
Well, honestly, in the end of the day, and I think this is a problem with young players of our generation, really, is once you're seen by the world, by social media, that you're an amazing player and you're seeing it day in, day out, it gets to you. No matter who you are as a player, no matter who you are as a person, it's going to get to you. And I think his ego for sure has been damaged by that 100%. And it's caused him to act out, flare out in a certain way, seeing rumors of him going to Real, to different clubs, not signing contracts. Sure, it could be all just rumors and false stuff, but he reads it and, it puts him in a mindset that, hey, I don't want to be in this club or I don't want to resign. And, can you blame the guy?
No, and honestly, that's why I don't think obviously he has an ego, because to be that great of a player, you do have to have a sense of ego, a little bit of arrogance, and maybe that comes with his self-belief in himself, and knowing his own worth and his value. But personally, I don't think he has that ego problem, because he knows his worth. He is a smart business player. I said this before in the podcast. He is a smart businessman. He's negotiated his contract into a way where he has the power. And if he's trying to exercise his power and he wants to leave the club, that's their problem.
Exactly.
Because they didn't structure his contract in a favorable way. That's business.
No, and I agree with that 100%. He's taking advantage of what was given to him and what he earned in the end of the day. And
you know what? A player like him, he's gonna want to go to a club. He's gonna want to go to a side where he can win the Champions League, or at least compete for the Champions League. That this PSG team, even after they've lost Neymar and Messi, I don't think wins the Champions League.
No, definitely not.
They don't have the goods to do it.
No.
Like, Gonzalo Ramos is far from the finished product that he can be. Ousmane Dembele is probably going to get injured. Hopefully not, but given his track record, I wouldn't trust him for the long haul.
Exactly.
You have so many raw talents on this team. I don't know. I mean, like, stepping down from Neymar and Messi, and now you think bring in Gonzalo Ramos, Ousmane Dembele is going to be better than Neymar and Messi? I mean, dude, that was your best chance to win Champions League with that club was with Neymar and Messi. And now that they're gone, I don't know. I don't know if they can. I personally don't think they can do it. Sure, they got a really good coach. Right?
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique. But I don't see them competing for the Champions League. What the top teams right now, their strength is off the charts. You can't come into the Champions League on 70%. You need to be 110% to compete with a Manchester City, a Real Madrid.
Exactly. Like,
or even like an Arsenal or Man United. Like, those teams are, although some of them are inconsistent, you got to be on the top of your game to compete, and you got to be 100%.
No, I completely agree on that. And you know what? If Mbappe's greatness really wants to shine through, this is the time. This is the year to really show it with this young, high potential PSG side. Let's see if he could lead them to some glory. Hey, who knows? This is football in the end of the day,
Yeah.
buddy. Anything could happen.
But I'll tell you this: if I had to put my money on the line, I don't think they do anything in the Champions League this year. Might win the league. Might.
Yeah,
That's just sheer financial
buddy.
power, but man, I have like zero confidence in them doing anything in the Champions League.
These
this
damn
season.
Parisians screwed my bets last weekend. The friggin'
Yeah.
to Toulouse, a newly promoted side, and I don't know. Lately they just look like a shadow of their former selves. So let's see if this team can really mesh together.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I know we've touched on the Saudi league already this episode, but another rumor I've been seeing is Salah to the Saudi league, making the same amount, if not a little bit more than Ronaldo's contract, $200 million a season.
Oh,
Now,
man.
we already know how you feel about the Saudi league, but if you're Salah, are you taking $200 million this season, or are you staying in Liverpool?
Honestly, bro, I'm staying at Liverpool. Liverpool has a solid side this year. I think they could really do damage, and you know what? I think maybe next year you get a couple new better signings. You get some really good signings. You get a new number 5, and you build, and who knows? This year, Salah could really show that he could become a true legend for Liverpool, and put his name in history. I think no money really puts a stamp onto history and being a legend. And 200 million, he's already making 350 grand a week with Liverpool. So realistically, you're already rich, man. Like, why?
200 million.
Why,
I'm gonna have to walk,
buddy?
I'm gonna take the contract,
buddy. You're already generationally rich, bro. Like, you don't
just take the money guaranteed. 200 million a season is an absolutely absurd amount of money. You take it, you go, man. You play out the rest of your career.
But isn't he? I swear he's only 31 or something. Exactly. How old is he? He's bro. You're still young,
Exactly.
Mo. If you're listening to this, don't leave.
I don't know,
Liverpool's
man.
the club for you.
If I'm him, I'm taking the money and I'm walking.
Nah, man.
200 million is just you can't even say no to that kind of money. I mean,
okay, if he was 36 right now and he's you could already see him on the decline, then sure, go take that 200
who's
million.
to say that contract comes back when you're in 5 years?
Bro, I don't know, man. I really think if Ronaldo, sure, he's worth 100 million because he's been able to adapt.
200 million.
Yeah, whatever he's getting nowadays, but he's been able to adapt his game to become a true number 9 instead of being that wide player these days, and that just he's worth that money still. But Mo, I don't know hope maybe he can adapt his game, but
to what, the Saudi league?
No, to being because buddy, you're 36, 37. You really think you're gonna have that same pace that you have right now?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So take the money now. If it's an actual offer, if it's on the table, if I'm him, I'm taking the cash.
Become a legend for your club.
He's already a Liverpool legend. Take the money.
Man. I don't
Liverpool will get a huge lump sum as well. It's good for both parties. I don't know. I don't know. It's at this point in time, it's like you said, what do you value more? The money, or I guess the competition.
Yep.
But at this point, Saudi Arabia is kind of getting to that competitive nature. Like I said before in the episode, it's like the new wave, man. Everyone's going there. All these big names for big money. You're getting paid 5 times, 6 times, 10 times, 15 times more money. I mean, how can you even say no?
Oh, and I get it. I get players' point of views of wanting to leave. Don't get me wrong, but still, I'm just against it, man. I'm just against wanting to leave Europe to go play for money.
Okay.
I don't know. We can circle around this all night, but I don't know, man.
Let's move on. Let's move on from this. I mean,
yeah.
So this is an interesting thing I wanted to talk to you about. Since the Premier League has started up,
yeah,
which teams do you think really need to make 1 or 2 signings to put them over the edge that they're really lacking on right now?
Honestly, I don't. I really want to say Liverpool. I think they're really missing that CDM player.
They signed one.
Did they? Oh yeah, in Endo,
Yeah.
Endo.
The
Yeah.
CDM from the
Yeah.
Bundesliga.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I guess they cleared that space up. But I don't know. Let's see how good he plays for Liverpool too. So I don't know. Nothing really sparks my attention. Really, any top club really missing out on a player. If you really saw something,
I still think Man United need to sign a CDM type player,
really.
a holding midfielder. I think they need another player in addition to Casemiro. They need someone that's more gritty, and I think Amrabat. We talked about that a couple episodes.
Yep.
Was that player, that missing link that they need?
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that if they want to be competing for the Prem, they need that kind of play. They need that depth, and they need that type of player in their squad.
Yeah.
They really lack that.
No, 100%. I think Casemiro isn't gonna stay Casemiro forever, and I think hopefully not. But what if they do get that injury mid-season?
Exactly, and I just watched them last weekend against Spurs, and man, their midfield is getting walked off the park. I mean, they need to be more. They need to do more, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think there's gonna be a lot more competition within their own ranks for spots on that starting 11. I think Ten Hag has like really in place, like, and stamped down that he has a starting 11 that he wants to start with and throughout the season, and it doesn't really show any competitive nature to the players to really want to play harder, to really show that they can become a better player. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, the only role I see that has that competitive nature is like maybe the right back position. You have
you got Dalot
and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, and you know what though?
Two really different players, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, Wan-Bissaka, a way more defensive oriented fullback, whereas Dalot is really attacking.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends what kind of style you want to implement or what kind of formation you want to play. But every other position, I mean, who are you taking people off for?
Oh yeah, and I completely agree. Like, maybe he does want to give these younger guys a taste of the Prem, play them last few minutes of games, but that's not gonna last. That's not gonna last.
That's not gonna
season.
win you championships.
Brother, you're gonna get injuries. You're gonna get injuries just like any other club in this league. Do you want to be fighting for top 5, or do you want to be fighting for a title, brother? You need depth. We've talked about this multiple times.
And they still have players like McTominay and Maguire on their bench that they don't really want to bring on or play.
Wow, you've given them time. You've given them time to really show if they could do it.
Exactly, but if you don't want to play them, then get rid of them. They're holding up the roster spots. I'm pretty sure their wages are very high.
I agree, and for them not taking that offer from West Ham for Maguire, I just don't get it.
If I was United, I would have gotten rid of Maguire when I had the opportunity from West Ham, and now it's like you need to get rid of a couple more players, and you need to bring in players like you know what I mean, like. Who's gonna, like, as much as I don't like Bruno Fernandes, who replaces him if he gets injured? Who replaces him if he's tired?
No one. That team literally runs all their plays through Bruno Fernandes.
Who
and I think
replaces Marcus Rashford? Like,
and especially sorry to bring it up, but Mason Greenwood, you just terminated his contract. If he had any chance whatsoever coming back to Man United, like, sure, maybe he would have been something of a decent replacement for a player like Rashford, but still Rashford. He's a top class player in any league in the world. So
for sure. I mean, like, let's see how Rasmus Højlund does.
Yeah.
When he gets back from his injury. I mean, if you have Rasmus, I don't know if you play Rashford on the left. I don't know. You bench Garnacho. I don't know what their plan is with them. Like, at this point, they have like so many wingers. They don't even know what to do with them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you still have Sancho, a player with so much talent and potential, just
100%.
sitting on the bench now. I mean,
yeah.
When you want to play Rasmus Højlund, a player who they spent, I think, north of 70 million on, where you gonna play him striker? Where are you gonna put Rashford on the left?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna put Garnacho now? You're not gonna play Garnacho. You're gonna have to rotate the squad often. I don't know. I mean, if you want to be a championship squad, you need that consistent starting 11 too. I agree. You also need those reserve players on the wing. They have good competitive spirit. the striker position, I guess you could move Rashford around. He has that ability to play out wide and down the middle.
Yep.
But in the midfield, they absolutely have no rotation.
Like you just got rid of a player that's been at the club for such a long time, and don't get me wrong, yes, he's done he's made mistakes, but he's still a solid, like decent player in Fred.
Yeah, you know what? You can see what you want about Fred, but Fred is a player that always brings that energy, and you still cannot prove me wrong, but like Fred is not a CDM. They played Fred, and they did Fred so dirty because they played him in a role which he was not comfortable in.
Yeah.
Fred is not a CDM. Dude, Fred is he's like a Brazilian CM, bro. He wants to he wants to go up the wing, he wants to dribble, he wants to shoot.
I think he's a workhorse. He's a workhorse either way, man.
He has that work rate.
Yeah.
I still think they did Fred a little bit dirty because they did play him out of position, and I think he did have a lot to show.
Yeah.
And he does have a lot of talent, but I mean, that's not here nor there, right? He's gone now.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Let's see what they do. I think Man United has 1 or 2 more signings left in them. But
sure.
Other than that, I mean, Liverpool did get Endo at the CDM, a player which they really needed.
Mm-hmm. And look at a team. We thought in one of our other podcasts, hey, Arsenal did make that signing in Jury and Timber, but look, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
He's down for the season. And let's see if anyone else could step up and be that, that backup player that could show up halfway through the season for another injured guy, or
exactly
just bring quality to the field when called upon.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said in the last podcast, we were already speaking about depth and the importance of that in such a competitive league. And it's like now one of your signings that you were so hopeful and promising to take you to that next level to really compete with Manchester City to win that title is injured. So now it's like, okay.
Yep. No,
other guys got to step up, but like you said, depth is very important.
Yeah, 100%. But no, I don't know. I think the Prem, it's going to be an entertaining season. I think it's really going to go down to the wire this year, unless really Man City just absolutely demolished the league. Which, I don't know, man. I really don't know if they do, because it's not the same team. It's not the same team. Let's see if they do it. Credit to Haaland, staying consistent. It looks like
you had them at number 1.
Yeah.
Don't forget that 2 weeks
ago.
ago.
No, exactly. But like I said, it's gonna still be a competitive league, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone else ends up top. I'll be completely honest.
Okay, let's move on to a new segment we're gonna start doing, marquee matchups. So each week we'll pick 3 games which we think are very important in each week, and we'll discuss who we think's gonna win, and we'll review the next episode. I mean, first matchup I picked Newcastle versus Liverpool.
This is gonna be spicy.
Massive
physical game.
Massive game right here.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm who's playing at home? Newcastle.
Newcastle's playing at home.
Yeah, I'm taking Newcastle 100% in this game. They dominate the midfield. I think they absolutely dominate the midfield. They run through friggin' Liverpool's non-defensive. Endo still has to develop, get used to the Premier League. He's not world class. He's not what anyone thinks he's gonna be just yet. So realistically, they have a brand new midfield right there that need chemistry. Newcastle's midfield has been there. They're workhorses. They're dominant in the midfield, and I think that's gonna be a game changer for this match.
I think I'm going to take Liverpool, and in a high scoring game. I think it's going to finish 3-2. That's my prediction.
That's spicy.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and I honestly think a big knock to that Liverpool side though is McAllister, who got that direct straight red card.
No, they avoided it.
Oh, so
they avoided it so he could play.
So So I think even better. So I think Liverpool's just gonna win. I think their attack's gonna overwhelm Newcastle, and I think their midfield's gonna just boss it. I mean, if they have Endo playing, like Endo's an experienced player. He's not a guy.
No, for sure.
He's not young. It's not like he's a player that just came out.
Yeah.
He just has to do the defensive work. I mean, their midfield is world class. They're full of passing and work rate. I mean, with McAllister and Shabazlai. I mean, what do you got to say about those guys? I mean, like, honestly, if I think Salah starts firing on all cylinders, you got Nunes off the bench, you got
Gakpo, you
Luis
got Luis
Diaz
Diaz.
finding his form.
I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be playing. I saw that he got injured last game too again.
Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
It sucks. He scored 2 goals in 2 games. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been on fire.
But even Diogo Jota, let's see, man. Like you said, yeah. Liverpool's offensive game is like unmatched.
I think that's what's gonna put them over. I mean, I saw Newcastle play against City. They did not impress me. They didn't play an impressive game, to me.
I think they locked down Haaland pretty well though, straight up.
Yep, but didn't do enough to win. They did not show anything offensively whatsoever for me to show that they were actually trying to win that game.
Yeah, that's credit to literally the best defense in the world probably at this point right now.
They could not create anything.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know. I think it's like I said, it's gonna be a battle in the midfield. Let's see how it ends. I think Newcastle wins this 2-1.
Okay, I'm still saying with Liverpool. I think Liverpool's attack is better than Newcastle's. Is going to be too much for Newcastle's defense, and I do think that Newcastle is going to score on that Liverpool defense because it's been poor, but I don't think they'll be able to outscore Liverpool. So I'm going 3-2. Let's see what happens next week. Next up, who do I have here? PSG versus Lens. Long. So the reason why I picked this as a marquee matchup this week is because PSG has tied their last 2 games.
Yep.
There's a lot of pressure on them right now to win their next game.
For sure.
They're expected to win every game they play and to lose their first game at home of the season. 1-1, giving away a late penalty.
You meant tie, not lose.
Sorry, to tie the game.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to have a lot of pressure to get a result.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you know what? Lens hasn't had the greatest start to the season as well. Obviously, they lost probably their best player in Seko Fofana, and it's truly shown. But let's see if they could, bring back that form that they showed last year. And
Exactly.
And hey, who knows, man? This is football, brother.
You know what? PSG has struggled to hit the back of the net in the last 2 games. Well, I think there's a lot of pressure now on the manager to use his pieces that he has and produce a result.
He's got to start Mbappe. You really have to start Mbappe.
He's got to start Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah.
He's got to get those guys gelling together because
100%.
These are the guys that are going to win you the games and keep you competitive. And you can't like this. I think the feud with Mbappe is over, and I think he's going to reintegrate him into the starting lineup.
For sure.
And as well as Ousmane Dembele.
Yep. And
I do think that PSG is going to win 2-0.
Yeah. No, and I take PSG for a dub as well. I'm going to take 2-1. I don't think they get a clean sheet just because, I just don't think PSG has a solid defense. They have
Skriniar, Marquinhos.
Yeah, but
2 solid center backs.
They definitely are solid, but I don't know, man. I just don't think they've been able to show the potential that they really could be, and they let in squeaky goals, man.
I mean, the last game they gave away a late penalty, so I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, look, if you have a lead like that, you shouldn't be recklessly tackling someone in the box in the 85th minute to give away a penalty. I mean, I still think they have world-class players in the defense. Like, they still have Skriniar, they have Marquinhos, they have what's his name, Hakimi.
No, on paper, it's one of the best defenses in the world still. But
yeah, we'll see what they produce. They definitely need to win. Pressure's on the manager.
Yeah,
we'll see what they could do. They dominate the games. They have 60-70% possession, but if you can't do anything with it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yep, 100%. Those are our 2 marquee matchups for this week. 2 massive games in 2 different leagues. Let's see where they end up.
Yeah. Last segment I want to do today is prime battles.
Oof.
So these are 2 players. One we already talked about in Gareth Bale. I want to know from you and those that are viewers in the comments below, who are you taking in their prime? Gareth Bale or Angel Di Maria?
Both.
For me, there's only one I'm taking.
You're going to take Angel.
I'm taking Angel Di Maria.
Yeah, and then I'm going to take him too. And for the fact he was a massive contributor in the World Cup, for what he did. He's been a consistent player throughout his whole career.
Exactly.
No massive injuries to really affect it too much. You know what? To add a little, salt on it, salt and pepper, he went back to Benfica.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Di Maria because he honestly was the entire package for a winger.
Yeah.
He had the work rate. He hustles on defense. He's quick. He's agile. He's a great dribbler and has a cracker of a left foot. He can finish. He could finesse in the top bin, Trivella, Rabona, whatever you want. He does that at all.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm taking Angel Di Maria over Gareth Bale every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
I love it. But yeah, no, exactly what you said and a little bit more. He's been able to show up on crucial matches. Massive games where other players aren't able to do the same thing. I guess the only real downside of his career was playing at Man United. I think it was just a terrible team for him to join. It was a downhill, spiraling Man U side that really didn't show any potential whatsoever in it. And, it's not his fault. I don't think so.
Well, that's why it's called prime battles. So
yeah,
it's like who you taking in their prime.
No, exactly. And I think he was in a pretty prime age still when he joined Man U. Let's be real here. I guess, and obviously going to PSG after really brought back the life in his career, and he showed that little blimp in Man United was truly nothing, and still became a true legend of the game, I think.
No, for sure. I guess I know he didn't have the best time at Man United, but this is prime battle, so I'm talking about prime versus prime. Prime in their career, Di Maria versus prime in their career, Bale.
Yeah.
The only thing Bale's better at than Di Maria is, I guess, physicality. I'll give him strength.
Yeah.
And speed.
Oh,
although
100%.
Di Maria was fast as well.
Yeah.
But passing, shooting, dribbling, impact, Di Maria takes the cake.
Yeah. No, and I agree. I think there's spots that Bale definitely shines brighter than Di Maria, but I think through injuries Bale's had, even in his prime time, it's affected his career in a whole, and that's why he's had to retire at a young age still, at a questionable young age, but still a decently good age to still be playing football. And, there's no debate here, really. I just don't see a true debate, and Di Maria takes it every day of the week, like you said.
All right, guys. It's been nice. I'll see you again next week.
Hey,
for now.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think of our prime take. And we'll see you later. Take care, ease. Don't let Gijo take it.
I'ma be real, I don't know either. Two girls on my line and they fine line wine, but bro, I don't know either. Got one from the west and it's blessed. She love playing Simon Says my keeper. Keep a lookout for the opposition. Big Rambo, newest edition. And the ends be filled with blue and red. They got clips shooting like pistons. See when times in the end.